Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. And we're back again today. We've got actually only a few leaks from Whoa, otherwise known as Wilds of Eldraine. Whoa. So, let's take a look, see what we got going on. But before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, mainly subscribe. Help support the channel, keep it sponsored free. And links in the description to the Patreon. Hell, hit up the eBay store, TCG player, buy a card or two once a month. That's more than enough support. You ain't got to give it to me for free. I'll give you something in exchange. As long as GPS and the post office can get their shit together. Anyway, moving on. No need to get to that rant. So, without further ado, let's get into what we got today. Today we've got Twisted Sewer Witch. Looks like my last girlfriend. Anyway, 2 black and 3 for a 3/4 human warlock. Whenever the witch enters the battlefield, you create a 1/1 black rat creature token. It can't block. Then for each rat you control, create a wicked roll token attached to that rat. And that is an enchantment that is a +1/+1. And when the aura is put in the graveyard, opponent loses a life. This seems to be the payoff card for rat deck. At 5 mana, it better be for a 3/4. Does that mean it's going to be good? Well, maybe. But I will tell you one thing, all you rat connoisseurs out there making those rat commander decks, this be your girl or guy, warlock thing. Anyway, for your deck. So, will it see play? Definitely. Will it be good? Hell, does it even matter? I mean, it just does stuff. What does it matter? Anyway, moving on. Next, we have Voracious Vermin. I like how he's all like, come at me, bro. Anyway, black and 2 for a 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black rat token. Of course, it can't block. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Voracious Vermin. So this is a this is a black version of the white mob rule or whatever it was, that whenever something dies, it gets +1/+1 counter. Even better, it's a rat, goes in rat decks. It makes a rat to make it a 3/2, so it doesn't have to chump block. You can't chump block with the 1/1, but you can send it into its death for the giggles because, hell, why not? To make this thing bigger, plus played with other rats and other things that make rats, this just gets out of hand eventually. Because what are they going to do? Are they just going to keep letting you slap them in the face with rats instead of just killing them and making this thing stupid huge? Lots of possibilities. I like this card. Rat decks of the world rejoice. You have something to really party up those little vermin guys. So, next we have Harried Spearguard. So 1 red, 1/1 with haste. When it dies, you create a 1/1 black rat creature token that can't block. Alright, so this is just your basic common card that gives you something when it dies. It's okay. I mean, it is a 1/1 haster, and this may be what some red decks need, because once it is killed, it does come back as something else. Then again, if you're playing this with the voracious vermin we just saw, this could make it big quick, because when 1/1 start replacing themselves with 1/1 tokens that still trigger other things, this is really something. Also, works great inside of all those aristocrat decks. This is red, so it's not a real big deal, but the other rat is black, which would fit. Lots of things going on here. Will it be good enough? Who knows? But hey, not bad for a common, right? Next, we have the Charmed Clothier. I don't know. White and 4 for this 3/3 flyer. Okay. When it enters the battlefield, create a Royal Roll token attached to another target creature, so you gotta have something else. That creature gets +1/+1 and ward 1. Not too bad, but for 5 mana, probably only good in limited, and that's probably stretching it. Because if you ain't got another creature, a 5 mana 3/3 flyer is, I mean, I guess okay. It is a fairy, so if you got the fairy shenanigans going on, I mean, could be a thing, I guess, white, black. We've seen fairy matter stuff, so. But yeah. Not great, not terrible. Probably a good limited card at best. Anyway, next we have the Grand Ball Guest. Red and 1 for a 2/2 has Celebration. It gets +1/+1 and has Trample as long as 2 or more permanents enter the battlefield this turn. I mean, this is fine. 2 mana 3/3s with Trample, if you meet conditions, are okay. I mean, worst case scenario, due to vanilla. I mean, fine for limited, right? Maybe you need to fill a spot. It's not the worst thing to draft pick. We have seen worse. If you haven't, I have. Trust me, it's not pretty. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, this is fine for limited and draft. I think it's probably a necessity. Um, but other than that, probably not doing much. Just, let's be honest here. All right, next we have Galvanic Giant. Oh, I like the name of this. So for a blue and 3, you get a 3/3, not a bad rate. Whenever you cast a spell, mana value 5 or greater, tap target creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Hello. Uh, this may make a deck full of green with big monsters actually pretty sweet, not going to lie, because you can cast big monsters, tap their stuff down, it doesn't untap on their next untap step. That sounds like a powerhouse thing to do in limited, although standard may be a bit iffy. However, it does have an adventure part of it. Storm Reading, 2 blue and 5, so draw 4 cards, then discard 2. It is an instant. Late game, that can be good to play this on the opponent's instep. I mean, at best, though, probably a commander limited card. In limited, this seems amazing. I don't see how it's not. 4 mana, 3/3 that can do, pretty, we'll say, hurtful things once you get to 5 value mana or greater. I mean, when it comes to tempo, this is probably the epiphany of tempo if it gets to sit on the battlefield. So, not terrible for the blue tempo decks. Next we have, you got some nerve. That's right. So in this segment of You Got Some Nerve, we only have 1 card left this time that came out during the enchantment on the enchantment sheet. Maybe we're getting close to running out of cards on there. In a way, it makes me happy. In a way, it doesn't, because I want to see some cool cards. But at the same time, I don't want to get punched in the Johnson on a daily basis. I really don't. I'm not into that kind of thing. Some of you maybe. I'm not. It just hurts my soul. But in this episode this week, the card that we are going to show you is Leyline of Sanctity. That's right, from the enchantment sheet this week. Leyline of Sanctity, 2 white, 2 colorless. If it's in your opening hand, you can put it in the battlefield. You have hexproof. So this is a really good cycle to get reprinted. The last reprint I think we had of this was in 2020 core set, 2019, 2020, somewhere in there. And none of these ley lines have actually seen a printing since. Now, with this being the second ley line that we've seen, pretty sure it's safe to say that all the ley lines are going to be on this sheet. And that is fine. Matter of fact, I like the idea of them doing that. That way, because there's no more core sets, right? So let's put core set stuff into special sheets like this that are powerful to keep them into rotation, because they're not really overpowered per se. They're not really high dollar value, but they are playable cards that people want to get, and they're not feel bads to open. And I'm not gonna lie, this card's pretty cool, and I really, really like to see some of these cards with the anime adaptations. That's what I'm really stoked for. Once the prices on these cards cool down, I'm probably going to get me a full set of the anime cards. It's because the Wafu tax is real. For those of you who don't know, you can look that up later. Anyway, I know for those of you who do know, this picture does not refer to the Wafu tax. But at this point, any sweet anime cards for me, I'm being Wafu tax because I love the anime art. The style, it's nice, it's refreshing. Because let's be honest, Wizards is not always batting 1,000 when it comes to some of the, we'll say, stuff that they put on their cards as far as art goes. Now, I'm not downgrading any artist or anything like that. Lots of good artists. But sometimes Wizards themselves, when they have people draw stuff, their motives and what they're looking for is, we'll say, questionable at best. So, there's that. So, with that said, guys, that's everything we've got for this week. Wow. I need some sleep. That's all we got for today on this beautiful Saturday. Being Sunday tomorrow, we may not see hardly anything, sadly. There's about 100 cards left, I would guess, to be previewed. Probably look for a big drop of them around Monday or Tuesday, so look for long videos, so save your time up. With all that said, guys, don't forget, until next time, be kind, and as always, thank you for subscribing, and I hope to see you across from the game table. Later, player.